Hi all, welcome to Diversified Finance. My name is Lakal. So in my last video, we discussed how to invest money and we discussed what is diversification. So today I've decided to further explain how to diversification and why we should diversify among few asset classes. So of course, as we discussed in our last video, we diversify to mitigate risk. In other words, to reduce risk. Because if you say you want to invest $100,000 and if you invest all that money into shares and then the share market goes down by 50%, then you tend to lose 50% of your initial value. But if you invest that money among a few asset classes, for example, cryptocurrencies, gold and silver, shares, likewise, say your shares gonna go down by 50%, but at the same time, gold and silver might go up by 20-30%, and then cryptocurrencies could go up by 30-40%. So in that case, even if you lose a bit of money from your shares, from from other asset classes, you probably be able to make more money. So at the end of the day, you end up reducing your risk, and at the same time, there's less chance that you will lose all your money because you diversify among a few asset classes. Because there's like a very it's highly unlikely that all the asset classes could go down at the same time, right? And if that happens, then you're not going to worry about any of these asset classes. Then you'll be looking at probably World War III or something like that. So that's why we diversify, and this is really, really important when it comes to investing. And I know when you come to property market, I know Australians are so obsessed with the property market. So if someone has say saved 100,000 back in the day, what they used to do, they use that as a down payment and buy like an investment property, and then they hold it for like a couple of years and let it go up, and then use that equity to buy another investment property. So likewise, they probably end up having 3 to 4 investment properties probably after 5, 6, or 7 or 10 years or so. But the problem with that again, diversification, right? It comes to this one. As I said before, we diversify to reduce risk. And right now, because of COVID-19, seems like people are losing their jobs and they might not be able to pay their repayments. So there's a high chance that, as looking at the data, that the housing market could go down by maybe 20, 30, 40% likewise. So in that kind of scenario, if you are like heavily invested in the housing market, right, and if you leverage at the same time, if the housing market goes down by 20-30%, so you will, because you have 4 or 5 investment properties, you tend to lose a lot of money because you have concentrated all your money in one asset class. So that's why I mentioned like property market. I know like I don't have anything against property market. My point is this is not the right time to buy. So for the last for 4 to 5 years, I've been discouraging people not to get into housing market. I told many people don't get into housing market. The reason being, it's kind of overvalued, right? And there's a time that you could get into a asset class, right? If you see like it's in a bubble, that's not the right time to get into that asset. You just stay away from it. But in the meantime, when property market was going up in value, we've seen cryptocurrencies, gold and shares were kind of like in an oversold kind of a territory. So that's the perfect time you invest in these asset classes, and when these asset classes goes up in value, then you can have a look at the property market, and then first you think it's the right time to get in. This is the most important thing. Just because everyone is buying property doesn't mean you need to get into the property market. Every asset class, before you invest, you need to do your due diligence and make sure it's the right time to get into that asset class, because simply that asset class could be in a bubble state. For example, think about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in 2016 in December used to be around 1,000 Australian dollars, and then late 2017 or early 2018, one Bitcoin went up to about 26,000 Australian dollars. So you had the chance to buy Bitcoin at $1,000 AUD, and you had the chance to buy Bitcoin at $25,000 AUD. But when you look at it, you would rather wait for the Bitcoin price to come down, instead of buying it at 25,000 when it as a bubble, right? So you're supposed to do the exactly opposite. Like when everybody's buying Bitcoin at 25,000, you're supposed to sell. But when nobody's pay attention to Bitcoin when it's at 1,000 or below 1,000, that's when you get into the housing market. That's when you buy Bitcoin. So likewise for the housing market, when everybody's buying, you just stay away from it. So do the exact opposite. So I don't have anything against the property market. I've been discouraging people. I'm repeating myself actually. I've discouraged people for the past 3 to 5 years when it comes to property market because I knew it's in a bubble and it's not the right time to get in. So when you saved up money, saving money is not easy. Once you saved up money, before you invest, you need to do your due diligence and make sure this asset class is not overvalued. If it's overvalued, you're not going to invest. You wait for the right time. So let's say you have 100,000 saved up, and first thing you can do if you so most people in Australia they borrow money to have a house, to buy a house, right? So first thing they can do, they can reduce your debt. So say 100,000, say you have like 4 portions of 25,000 each, right? So you take 25,000 and you pay down your debt, this is a good thing because when you reduce your debt, your mortgage repayment, you can reduce your mortgage repayment. So when you reduce your mortgage repayment, you end up saving more money, right? So the interest that you pay on that loan will be reduced, because of this payment. So if you keep on paying 25,000 for a few years, every 5 years or every 10 years or so, or maybe if you reduce your debt by $50,000 every 5 years, that means once you paid it off, you probably reduce your repayment. When you reduce your repayment, you get to save more money because your expenses for that repayment will be reduced. So 25,000 you can pay down your debt. Another 25,000 you can invest in cryptocurrency, right? So 25,000, and another 25,000 you can invest in gold and silver. These precious metals are very, very important, especially during a crisis like we are experiencing right now. Because of this pandemic, we have so many issues with so many issues with the monetary system. So gold and silver will definitely act like monetary insurance. It's like having a car insurance on your car. So if something goes wrong, especially when we see the central banks are printing so much of money, it'll inflate your currency and you lose your purchasing power. So to maintain your purchasing power, if you buy gold and silver and hold gold and silver, you can maintain your purchasing power, and then when you sell it back, you probably be able to get more fiat currency rather than having fiat money in your bank account. So gold and silver is very important. Cryptocurrency is more like a speculative asset, but you can make huge money out of cryptocurrency. There are people who bought Bitcoin at $1,000 and then they sold around 15,000 or 20,000. So they probably made 20 times of the money that they invested in cryptocurrency. So this is more speculative. If you don't feel comfortable, you can reduce this money. Maybe you can cut it down to 10,000 or so and invest more into gold and shares if you feel comfortable, or you can use that money to pay off your debt. So this is not like an exact amount that you have to do, right? It could be 10,000 here, 35,000 here, 25 likewise. And then shares, same thing. Say you take another 25,000 and invest in the share market. Right now, at the moment, things are not looking good. It's not a good time to invest for long for the share market because of the issues we're seeing at the moment. So we would rather wait for some time and then make sure that the share market comes down even more, and then you can decide which kind of companies you're gonna invest in. So before I stop, I need to make sure none of this is financial advice. So you don't have to do any of this. Don't invest your money into any of these asset classes because I said so, because I could be wrong. And before I go, one more thing. So this is what we've been talking for the past week or so. It's saving money is very, very important. So when you save money, the good thing is you can reduce your debt. So when you reduce your debt, you have more money to invest, right? You can save money and can more money to invest. So when you invest money, you can diversify and reduce your risk. So likewise, it goes back the other way. So you diversify, reduce your risk, and you make more money, and then you can use that money to invest more into other asset classes. And when you invest, when you get paid more money from investment, you can reduce your debt, and when you reduce your debt, you end up having more money in your account, and then it helps you save more money. So it goes back and forth, it never ends. So otherwise, if you don't have an investment, if you just get paid say $5,000 a month, and if you spend $4,999 on your expenses, right, it becomes kind of monotonous, right? And then it'll be like you're not doing anything extra, you feel like it's the same thing every day. You go to work, come home, and you probably be doing it for for a long time until you get to your mid 60s or so, until you retire. So life kind of get boring, and then you kind of get glued to your job. So even if you don't like your job, you have an option, because you have your expenses set up according to your income, right? So that's not the way it should be. Only portion of your income goes to your expenses, and a portion you should invest, and another small portion you should set it aside in case there's a financial crisis, as COVID-19, what we're experiencing right now. If you lose your job, so you have money set aside, you can use that money, and then for a few months, or for 5 to 6 months or so, until you find another job. So this is very important. Most people, if you think about it, when it comes to education, everybody's educated, right? So everyone has a degree, diploma, or master's or PhD, some kind of education. But when it comes to financial planning, there's a lot of people, they don't know what to do with their money. So that's something really important. That's what we're seeing at the moment, because of COVID-19, people lost their job. Say there are people that I know of, they lost their job on Tuesday, and Wednesday they line up at Centrelink. So the reason being, they education-wise, they're educated, they're qualified, they have a lot of experience, but when they lose their job, because they did not manage their money properly, they don't know what to do with it. So yeah, this is a very important. So I hope you learn something, and please, if you can like my video, share it among other people, so everybody can get to know what we talk about here. So that's it for today. Until I talk to you next video. See ya. Bye.